This is the Male Rights Activist Podcast, episode 132, where we focus on relationships, sports, and pop culture from a man's point of view. First of all, we want to thank our listeners, our new ones, our OGs. Thank you for hanging with the fellas.
What up?
On today's show, Kamal is in Utah.
Man, I'm not coming home until I have a few sister wives.
I love it. Bow Wow has a new career idea.
What is it, making good music?
Oh my God. And is it overall ready for Halle Berry's new relationship? And we have a Dear Irby from a woman who wants to know why men take more than they give in relationships. All that and more right now. This is MRA Podcast with Kyle and Kamal, where men come to talk and women come to eavesdrop. I am Kyle.
I am Kamal.
And we are helping you to understand the man you love. Well, let's start on the front page. Kamal, you went out of town, man. You don't never leave the house, Kamal. What happened?
Man, and here's the crazy thing about it. It was actually my idea.
What happened?
Well, here's the thing, man. We don't go anywhere.
No, of course not.
Right? And we do work. And we do work and school from the house.
Yes.
And so I was like to the wife, like, look, man, why don't we go somewhere and spend like a week out of town? We can do the same thing.
Oh.
We can do the same thing. I mean, wake up, go to work, whatever. And then afterwards, we're in a different place.
Nice.
So I wanted to do the snow. And my wife was tired of Big Bear, which I'm not. And my son's not. Mm-hmm. So we compromised. I don't know if it's compromised. We're in Utah.
Wow. Now that's great, man. Listen, my boy.
10-hour drive.
Oh, y'all drove?
Drive. We drove, man.
Oh, snap. Shouts out to my older son who likes to snowboard. He's talking about going to Utah. My boy C Ball went to Utah recently. Man, Utah snow was allegedly cracking, man. How good is it out there?
It's decent, man. It's not it's not a lot of snow. Mm-hmm. It's enough. Mm-hmm. It's enough to go sledding and stuff like that. So I guess that's good. Mm-hmm. But, you know, and also the streets aren't icy and snowy. Mm. So that's good.
Yeah, man.
So I guess it didn't get too cold where everything's frozen.
Okay.
So the snow's still soft and whatnot. Good. So my boy's able to make snowballs and all of that, man. I'm watching like deer run down the...
Yeah. Beautiful.
It's crazy. Yeah, you look outside, like it's just deers running.
So let me tell you my joint, man. So I went out to the snow as well, and your boy slipped on some ice and busted his head, homie, to the point where I couldn't remember anything for an hour, dog.
Wow.
Yeah, man. Hit the side of my head, man. It was crazy, dog. I was just walking to the store, man, and slipped on some ice and woo, 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 bam. And I didn't, this is how crazy it is. You know, people say they got shot, but they didn't feel it. I didn't know I hit my head. I had no idea. I tried to get back up because, you know, I'm embarrassed and stuff. And, you know, I saw a car pulling up and the lady was like, you okay? Man, I'm fine. I'm just trying to walk it off. Man, I like I said, I'm just trying to get my footing because I'm slipping on the black ice. Dog, I get to my feet, man, walk to the store, dude. Get to the store and don't know why I'm at the store because I was going to get some, you know, ingredients. I didn't know why I was at the store, dog, or where I was. You talk about scary, man. Your boy, I didn't know a damn thing, man. It took an hour for me to start remembering things.
Wow. So using that concussion protocol?
I must have been, dog. I was thinking, man, I am not ready to play tonight if I had a game. But I could have played. I just would not want to. If I could have.
Well, they wouldn't have put you back in.
They wouldn't have. But I was thinking, I was like, okay, I've never been in this. I mean, my head was ringing. I remember that from football. Ring, 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 ring. But, you know, I used to call that getting your bell rung, which is ridiculous. Like every football player knows what it's like to get your bell rung, not realizing, oh, that's dangerous. But, dog, I kept asking myself, okay, could I play right now? Yes, I could have played. But I just was terrified to take any touch to the head.
Wow. Man, that's a sign of old age, too, man. Us, like, falling and hitting our heads. I mean, honestly, man, if you was 22, man, you would have broke your fall, your elbow or something like that. You'd have been messed up. It's like, dude, you get older,
I'm not allowing that, dude.
I'm telling you, man.
Man, I hope it ain't old age because it ain't that damn old.
I have slipped so many times in the ice when I was in college, man, and fucked up. Like I said, my wrist, my elbow,
Yeah.
my lower back or something like that. But I never landed on my head.
Me neither, man. I landed on my side, and then my head hit the ice. And so normally, like I would think that my neck would be strong enough to stop it before it hit the ground.
At 22, it was.
But I think I just think I fell too hard, man. And then remember Marty McFly's head hit the ground when he fell out that tree?
Yeah.
He was 22, just so you know.
That was a 44-year-old writer.
Oh, that's what it was. There you go, man. Good was quick. All right, man. How was your Super Bowl, man? You watched the game?
I watched the game, man.
You sound
upset.
I
watched it. Yeah, I mean, I wasn't really rooting for Tampa Bay, so.
I mean, you weren't rooting for Kansas City either.
No, I was hoping like basically the game ended in a 0-0 tie.
Hilarious.
But yeah, I didn't get that either. So
I started off the game rooting for the black quarterback as usual. But the problem is he has a KC Chief on his helmet, and I hate the Chiefs. That's the problem. It is so hard to root for a team you hate. So even though I'm hoping for Mahomes to do well, I can't help but enjoy every time they're losing. And then I knew I wouldn't know until I was watching the game. And while I was watching the game, that's how I knew who I was going for. I was going for Leonard Fournette. Every time he touched the ball, I was like, let's go. I just found myself for some reason, and I may because I like big running backs that hit the hole. That's why I always liked your boy Terrell Davis, man. Hit that hole. No dancing, man. Ugh, I hate it when Reggie Bush did all that damn dancing.
Wait. I'm sorry, I have to correct you. Are you talking about the great and powerful Hall of Fame Terrell Davis? Is that the guy you're talking about?
I'm not doing that for no more Broncos. My point is, I did like Terrell Davis, but I like those big, strong backs, man. So I found myself rooting for Leonard Fournette. But here's the thing, Kamal. Now that Tom Brady has 7 rings, they're already talking about this. And this, I try not to make this racial, dog. Because with black people, very sensitive when they talk about certain things. I heard Greeny say, this is before they won, that if Tom Brady wins, Tom Brady's going on his Mount Rushmore. And then his list was, this was his list come out. Babe Ruth, Wayne Gretzky, Michael Jordan, and Tom Brady. And I'm like,
who was on there before? Did he say who?
I don't know.
Tom Brady
I don't know who he was knocking off. I don't know. But my point is, I found it curious that you could have in a contest of athletics. I don't know. Maybe he knocked off Larry Bird. How do you have? And we got white listeners, man. Let us know. Please hit me up. How do you have majority white guys on an athletic competition in your brain? Go ahead.
I think it's because of in their respective sports, they killed the game.
Yeah.
So I'm not mad. I'm not mad at
his top 4 or whatever.
Nah, I'm not. I mean, obviously, ain't gonna be no brothers in hockey. So Gretzky has to get that. Now, if you're trying to
get that,
yeah. And so unless you're trying to say to be like, 3 basketball players, a track and field guy,
that would be my list.
Yeah, I mean, like stuff like that. But if you're talking about the big 4 sports, I'm not mad at his list. I don't think Brady is the greatest athlete of all time. As a matter of fact, I don't even think he's the greatest football player of all time
at all.
No, because the thing about it is, Tom Brady. I mean, football is the ultimate team sport.
You can't get no teamier than football,
right?
On.
And
I
so,
mean, literally, as a quarterback, you can't even get the ball. Somebody has to give you the ball,
right? And so,
go ahead.
No. You're right. You're right.
You must have an offensive line blocking for you. You must.
Yeah. Tom Brady is like, taking 3 steps back and throwing strikes. Mahomes taking 3 steps back and another 2 and another 5 and runs back 20 yards and has to avoid like 4 or 5 people just to get back to the line of scrimmage and throw up a prayer. It's like, dude, obviously, KC's defense wasn't as effective as Tampa Bay's defense, and so Brady gets the credit for it, and I understand that. But the reason why I would say Michael Jordan is the greatest athlete that I've ever seen, well, out of the major sports, because I can't front on Carl Lewis.
Yeah.
Bo
Jackson. Oh gosh. Raiders. There we go.
I mean,
Bo Jackson, Deion Sanders.
Nice kicks.
Oh, this guy's gonna prop his shoes.
Nice kicks.
You're smoking that good stuff out there in Utah.
Yeah, definitely Mount Rushmore of kicks. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my gosh, this guy's smoking crack. Randy Moss, LeBron James, Mike Tyson, Carl Lewis.
Iron Mike, Roy Jones, all these guys, right? And so Tom Brady, like his first 2 or 3 Super Bowls, definitely his first 2.
Mm-hmm.
He was basically just a game
manager, which he was during the Super Bowl that just passed. He was a game manager. But this is the thing that people don't understand about Tom, man. First of all, Tom was accused of being a system quarterback. And he went from one system to a better system. You know what I realized, man? Because I'm a Bill Belichick fan as a coach. Phil Jackson could not win a championship without Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen. And then he needed Kobe and Shaq. And then he needed Kobe and Gasol. But Michael couldn't win without Phil either. And Kobe and Shaq couldn't win without Phil either. You need both. Bruce Arians is a fantastic coach. That is a great system. He went from one good system to another, Kamal.
Yeah, and the thing about it is, I actually like the Buccaneers players. I like that. I like that whole team.
They're better than the Patriots he was on.
Right. I was a Jameis Winston fan, and they went like 8-8.
Yeah.
With Jameis Winston, and Tom Brady comes and they go 11 and what did they go 11-5 or 12-5?
Yeah, 11.
Right. So they improved 4 games, but the impressive part is when they gelled.
Yeah.
They gelled at the right time, like
Thanksgiving.
Like that Giants teams.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? They would be average, but they get it together at the right time.
That's a credit to Tom Brady's leadership. Right. Tom Brady was allegedly texting different players every night at the same time, which I think he has a thing your wife has where you can program the text because the text is coming through at 11 p.m. at the same time, and he was probably asleep by then. But
so he doesn't have an Apple. He's got a He's got a Galaxy.
Got the Galaxy Joy, whatever it is.
Another reason why I can't really like this guy.
I know. He seems like he's an Under Armour guy. Of course, he's a Galaxy guy, right? He wouldn't be with the times. But my point is, man, Tom Brady, man, it sounds like I'm hating, but it's the frustrating thing. Let me give him his props. He keeps his body healthy. He keeps his mind right. Bruce Arians said when he met Tom Brady, he could not believe how prepared he was. So, yes, you can create your own luck, and I do believe it. But
definitely. He's not a bum.
No.
He is.
Like I said, he was. Not at close. Not at all.
Like I said, I respected Greenwood? Greenie's Greenberg.
Mm-hmm.
I respected his top 4. Okay. You know, I respect it.
No
I respect it.
Top 4.
Yeah, I don't necessarily agree with it, but
yeah,
I respect it, and I'm not gonna begrudge his list. So Tom Brady is one of probably the best quarterback.
The best winning quarterback is my thing. He's not the best talented, but he's the best.
No.
Quarterback.
But the thing about it is, it's like when he gets the right people, he does what he's supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? Except for that Randy Moss team, but he does what he's supposed to do. Mm-hmm. Mike Evans is the first player in NFL history to have start his career with 7 straight 1,000-yard seasons. Mm-hmm. Now, he had 6 before Tom showed up. Before he even met Tom Brady, he had 6 already in the bank. Mm-hmm. Right? So he's no slouch. Yeah. Antonio Brown is one of the greatest wide receivers of all time.
Period.
Yeah.
Period. And he brought 2 friends with him.
Right.
Not only am I coming to join a powerhouse team, I'm bringing one of the greatest tight ends, my favorite guy to throw with. I'm bringing my guy with me. And I'm bringing Antonio Brown, who I just met, who I just started playing with, and I love playing with him too. So I'm bringing 2 weapons to a team that's loaded with weapons, to a team whose defense is solid. And here's the thing that people never really notice about Tom Brady, man. I'm going to say 2 words. Jim Kelly. Not white Jim Kelly from Shrill Underwood Radio, but Jim Kelly. He does not have Jim Kelly's luck. Jim Kelly's kicker missed against the Giants. Tom Brady's kicker comes through every single time while Tom sits on the sideline hoping.
Right.
Every time. Every time. In different kickers. In New England, he had 2 different guys. And in Tampa Bay, he had a guy. And every time he nails his kick. And that makes a difference, come out.
Yeah, but I will say.
Go ahead.
Out of his 7 rings, I would probably say like Tom Brady is like directly responsible for probably like 4.
Why?
Maybe 5. Maybe 5. And Michael Jordan is directly responsible for all 6 of his titles.
Absolutely.
He is the catalyst.
Yes, that's the problem. He is not only the catalyst. Michael Jordan's playing defense as well. Michael Jordan is not passing to somebody to make the shot. He is making
did for
the shot.
Paxson and Steve Kerr, but they were like...
Okay, 1 shot, a couple shots. But I'm talking about, let's say, all right, okay, so he might have passed off 20 points, but he brought in his own 30. Tom Brady, all of his points, unless he's running it in, and that's with the assist of the offensive line, it's always, and not just him, every quarterback benefits from so much help. Their line blocking, their receivers, these great athletes making these great catches and breaking these tackles. But not every quarterback is equal. And Tom Brady does the things that, listen, my man Cam Newton got COVID this year. Tom didn't get COVID. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, like, Tom made the decisions. He didn't get COVID. He didn't miss any. He didn't have to miss any games. Tom is doing things to put himself in a position to play. He is taking care of his body.
He's doing like him and LeBron. You know, him and LeBron. They say like Tom Brady hadn't had like sugar in 12 years or something like that. Yeah. But him and LeBron are really showing these athletes how to prolong their career and still able to maintain at a high level. Like Michael Jordan was smoking cigars, drinking and stuff like that. The Henny out all night gambling and still coming in busting ass. But it came a point where he couldn't do it anymore. You know what I'm saying? And LeBron is still playing at a high level. Tom Brady is still playing at a high level. They take care of their bodies because they know their bodies are their businesses.
Yes.
This is how I make my bread and butter. This is how I am going to have this legacy, this all-time great legacy. I'm not gonna do some like what's my guy Chad Johnson always says, he fucked his own career up. You know what I'm saying? He just kept fucking up. We ain't doing that. You learn from the people who came before you, and the smart ones don't make the same mistakes the other ones made. The Jay-Z's don't make the same mistakes the other rappers who blew all their money and fucked up and signed terrible deals with Jay-Z's like, wow, I see how they did the Cold Crush brothers. They ain't doing me like that.
That's so good, and we're going to kind of come back to this later on. We'll circle back to some of this. When we come back, we have some feedback, and after that, we have a post-nut story from a woman who was with a guy who was trying to change her. Why? Find out soon. It's the MRA Podcast. Hey, what's up, guys? I sure hope you're enjoying the show. If you like it, I invite you to go to our website, themrapodcast.com, and catch up on over 100 episodes that we have in store for you.
You ain't working, you might as well check us out.
And if you want some more, go over to The World According to Cheryl and check me out on Cheryl Underwood's podcast. We post content there every single day. We have her normal radio show labeled SUR, and then the Cheryl Underwood podcast, where we get in her personal business every Friday. Then on the weekends, we have the specialty shows that range from Late Night Cupcake into Auntie Cheryl's House Party to our gospel show, Spiritual Nourishment.
You gotta check out The World According to Cheryl, even though I ain't on it.
We got some feedback, homie.
Do we now?
Yes, man. This is the second time we got feedback about this. We shouted out some of the dads. They made history, like the Ball, Tiger Spots, Venus and Serena's, and Beyonce's. And Earl Xander said, awesome. Also, we talked about the secret to making your relationship last, and we propped up LeBron for his marriage. And Snacks LA said, LeBron put Savannah through some ish. And didn't it take him forever to marry her?
That's so negative. That's just negative.
Too.
That's just,
I think
just
so too. At least he married her.
We took a beautiful thing and we made it negative.
I mean, at least he signed. Did he really have to sign the bogus deal? Did he have to sign a lifetime contract? And who's winning in that contract?
And we don't know we really don't know the ins and outs of their relationship. She might not have wanted to be married.
That's
we don't know. I'm gonna assume she was the one who didn't want to be married. And LeBron has been trying for 15 years, unless I hear evidence saying otherwise.
Great. When we come back, we have a post-nut mode from a woman who was with a guy who was trying to change her. Find out why. It's the MRA Podcast. According to Webster's dictionary, being in post-nut mode is when you have a clear mind and you can make sound decisions as if you just busted a nut.
Yeah, I don't know if Webster actually said that.
No, he didn't. But our listener, Big Easy Q, told us all about it, and we can relate. Women, men. So listen, if you have a story of when you did something foolish.
In pre-nut mode.
Yeah, something really dumb. Maybe it was top crime. Especially something in pre-nut mode you don't want nobody to know about. Hit us up, and we'll tell the world. We can all laugh at your expense, and hopefully you'll learn from your mistakes.
Aristotle once said, the results of pre-nut mode is the best teacher. I think he said some shit like that.
Send us your stories at dearirby@themrapodcast.com. That's dearirby@themrapodcast.com. And now, it's time for a post-nut mode story, only on the MRA Podcast. Okay, this is one that's from Trishelle in Atlanta. She says, when I was young, I already had body, so all the boys used to like me, but they only wanted to use me for sex. Then I finally met this nice boy in high school, and he was the first boy to not try to hit it so fast. I really liked that about him, plus his sense of style. Thing about this boy was he started to really be controlling. I think I let it happen because compared to the other boys, he was the best by far, and I didn't want to lose him. At first, I was happy that he didn't want to have sex, but after a while, I started to worry that he didn't find me attractive. He said I should lose weight. I should cut my hair, and I did. This boy made me cut it shorter and shorter until I finally had a fade. My mom said he was trying to make me look like a boy. Mom convinced me to break up with him. She said I needed to set him free so he could be the boy he really needs to be. I didn't think he was gay because we finally had sex and it was good. It was the best I ever had. He was the first boy to really take his time with me and not be in a hurry to finish the deed. He made me feel good. Maybe that is why I stayed so long, but I finally let him go. My mom was right. I was the last girl he was ever with. Have you guys ever heard a story as crazy as this on your show? From Trishelle in Atlanta. Trishelle, we've heard a lot of crazy stories.
Mm-hmm. This would make the Mount Rushmore of crazy stories. But I'll say this, man. I was feeling the guys. Okay, yeah. Sense of style. Not trying to hit it on the first day. I mean, This guy sounds respectable. Sounds like your boy. Yeah. Trying to play that role. He was controlling. Okay, telling him to lose weight. I wouldn't have went that far, but I don't have a problem with this. But then I don't have a problem with any of this shit this man was doing. But then she was saying like, wait, he didn't make no moves. It's like cut her hair. I'm like, okay, maybe this was like the early '90s and the Halle cut was in.
The Halle was in.
Not
you know
a
fade though, not a complete fade. Maybe fade the side.
Then when it got to the fade, I was like, oh,
wait a minute.
Wait
a minute. Yeah, until he didn't. Like, moms is right. Always listen to moms, ladies.
Start trying to get her to dress like TLC, like baggy shit.
Some baggy pants. Oh man, try this jersey on. Like, what the hell?
Man, I used to mess with this girl in college, man, and I had competition from another chick.
Oh,
I lost that competition, Kyle.
Did you?
I lost that competition, man. Wow. We was like alternating dates, and whatever homegirl had to say was stronger than what the fuck I had to say.
Hey, man, they say they are the coldest, man. They say don't. If you're gonna share your girl with another woman, make sure it is not. If you're gonna share your girl, don't share with another woman. That's what they say, because a woman knows how to talk to a woman.
Man.
When we come back, we got to talk about Halle Berry. Did she lose another one? I hope not. It's the MRA Podcast. Hey, guys, if you're digging the show, then please tell somebody. People might say something to you like, hey, man, what podcast you listening to? And that's when you say the MRA Podcast with Kyle and Kamal.
Or the MRA Podcast with Kamal and Kyle.
Kamal, man, what the hell's going on with Halle Berry, man? She might be done again, dog. According to a Hollywood Insider's IG account, Halle and Van had been going apart and officially ended things shortly after the new year. Halle posted a message on her IG that read, "Women don't owe you shit." Oh, when they go to that, Kamal, it feels like the race card. I bet that's how white people feel. To our white listeners, as we were talking earlier, I bet that's how they feel when black people go race card on them. Like, oh, do you have to throw the race card? Ladies, when you throw the gender card, it feels like you don't have any other card. It feels so AOC of you. You know, it's like, oh, God, you're lumping, you're saying things to get a reaction. Man, what's going on with Halle Berry? Come on.
Oh, man. Kyle, I have been in love with Halle Berry since Strictly Business. What is that, 1991, 1990? Yeah, since I was like 15, 16 years old. Mm-hmm. And so every time she was with a guy, I probably secretly wanted that shit to end.
Yes.
Because I'm like, man, these niggas is fucking it up for me. I don't need this shit to work out long term.
I hear you.
But after like the 14th guy...
The 14th? Come on, you ain't shit. Not the 14th. I was about to say the 4th or 5th. You said the 14th, but after the 14th guy.
After the 14th guy.
I started wondering.
Yeah, I'm like, I know I don't have any magical powers, Kyle.
No, you don't.
I know most of my wishes don't come true.
Yes, you've told us on the show some things you wish for and it hasn't happened.
Exactly. And so I'm like, wait a second. If my wishes ain't coming true.
Looking at your hands, come out. Wait just 1 second. If it's not me, like in Superman, I love that part when he's like, wait a minute, you got me, who's got you?
If I don't have magical powers, Kyle, then these relationships are ending, organically, and there's only one common denominator.
It's Halle Berry, man. How is it that all these dudes keep running for the hills, man? I know it is.
I mean, yeah. I realized something was wrong. And Dave Justice helped me see this.
There it is.
When he came out a few years ago, when he was like, man, like he wasn't the one that hit her in the head.
Yeah.
And he thought it was foul that after all these years, Halle never said it because it was insinuated that it was Dave Justice, and she let that shit go. Yeah. She never corrected anybody. She never came out and said, for the record, it wasn't Dave Justice, it wasn't Wesley Snipes. She just let the shit fester. And so people were looking at Dave Justice sideways. They were looking at Wesley Snipes. Wesley Snipes actually said, no, it wasn't me, it was Christian Williams. He's dry snitching, but he had to clear his name. Dave Justice was like, dude, it wasn't me. I've never had that type of relationship with Halle. And he felt that it was wrong that she never corrected anybody. And so I realized, like, yeah, man, it is foul. That is foul. And that's foul of Halle. And so, yeah, the luster has been off of Halle for a few years now for me, man.
Well, Kamal, I'm going to tell, this is something I don't normally do, but I'm going to do this because I'm going to tell you guys in the Dear Irby response how this all connects. The Super Bowl and Tom Brady, Halle Berry.
You're going to bring it all together.
I'm going to bring it all together, but you're going to have to wait. When we come back, Kamal, you are in Utah. What the hell is going on with the schools out there? We're going to talk about it. It's the MRE Podcast. Hey guys and gals, if you're enjoying the show, let someone know. Whatever app you're listening on, please subscribe, give us 5 stars, and leave a positive comment.
And why wouldn't you give us 5 stars and a positive comment? We're great.
Yes, we are. This helps our placement so that other people can enjoy the show as well.
And why wouldn't they? We're great.
Kamal, what the hell's going on, man? Why are you out in Utah? You need to go talk to some people, bro. According to reports, the charter school in North Ogden, Utah, is facing backlash after the school allowed parents to opt their children out of the Black History Month curriculum. Maria Montessori Academy Director Mika Hirokawa,
that's about right.
I fucked her name up, yeah, issued a statement on the matter saying he reluctantly, I guess it's a guy, sent a letter. Micah, got it. Sent a letter to parents noting that families are able to exercise their civil rights to not participate in Black History Month at the school. There's only 2 black kids at the school. Come on. can you help me with this? I don't understand why you even need to send this letter, bro.
Yeah, and guess where I am?
Where are you?
Ogden.
Yeah, right.
I'm probably about 7 miles from Ogden. I was in Ogden yesterday.
Hilarious.
Went to the grocery store in the Big Five, and I saw 2 black people. And I wanted to talk to them. Like, hey, what the fuck are you doing out here?
Yeah, why are you here?
Why are
they
you
came on
here?
vacation and loved
Yeah,
it. That's what
they
happened.
loved
They
it.
should have told you, get out.
I saw a chick that looked like she was straight from L.A.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you here? But
Yeah.
Kyle, it's like you said, man. During the Halle Berry thing, dude.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of white people don't want to feel uncomfortable. They don't want to be reminded of the atrocities that their ancestors or people who look like them committed. It's like this, man. You and I don't want to see Lifetime movies because why? Or Tyler Perry because we feel it's just man bashing.
Yeah,
now,
exactly.
I have never abused a woman. I've never put my hands on a woman. I've never cheated on a woman allegedly.
Hilarious.
So
Sticking with that one, huh?
allegedly, man. I mean, that's what I'm alleging.
Okay, cool.
You know, until and so I've never done these things, right? So when I see it, I think, man, this is just an over exaggeration. All guys aren't like this. So why they keep trying to hit us over the head with this nonsense that I don't even know anybody who does this, right? Same thing with this, man. Same thing with this. They feel they've never, and here, man, honestly, Kyle, these are the nicest people in the world. These people are so nice.
Are you talking about the Utah people?
The Utah people. And so they probably feel that, hey, look, man, I've never oppressed anybody. I've never discriminated against anybody for the color of their skin. I've never called anybody the N-word. We don't say that shit in our house. I mean,
we never. Yeah.
We don't get down like that.
Yeah.
And so why do we have to hear about this shit, this constant, can't we all just get along? I'm on some Martin Luther King shit now. So I understand it, but that's an oversimplification of the need of black history.
Yes.
You know, it's an oversimplification. It's really like, fuck your feelings at this point. Same thing women will say to us about not watching Lifetime. It's like, fuck our feelings. Fuck your feelings. I'm trying to play white devil's advocate here.
White devil's advocate is hilarious.
I'm trying to play white devil's advocate because I kind of understand where they're coming from being a man, right? But it goes much, much deeper than that because of the atrocities that were committed against our ancestors, the oppression and the civil rights violation. We are trying to, rise as a people. We're trying to get better. It's the reason why, we have a fraction of white people's wealth. So a lot of the inequalities of the races have to do with the black history. It has to do with the black, a lot of the shit that these cats had to overcome. And so I think learning about it more and really going deeper into it, going into the psyche, the effects of Jim Crow, not just saying, okay, this guy, they wouldn't let him swim and he became the first swimmer. I get that. They're over that shit. But, the effects of Jim Crow, redlining, the fact that, what is it called? Black Wall Street, the place in Oklahoma where they had all that wealth. They just burned this shit down. Every time we was popping, white folks would come burn it down. That type of shit I think needs to be taught. I get it. I'm over the, he was the first black painter. I'm over that. But the effects of this shit, the effects on our psyche, the effects on our current situation, I think that needs to be taught. So I think Black History Month can be revamped a little bit. But yeah. Fuck your feelings.
Come on, we come back talking about a brother doing something good. Kodak Black is doing a good deed. We'll tell you what it is. And later in the show, we have a Dear Irby from a woman who wants to know why men take more than they give in a relationship. It's not Lifetime. It's the MRA Podcast. You listen to us, but Kamal and I want you to know that we listen to you too.
Even if we don't always respond to your tweets in a timely manner.
I love how you say we, man. So if you have some feedback, maybe you agree.
Maybe you disagree.
Or maybe you just want to tell us how much you love the show, or that you want to testify about how we specifically helped you out. Or maybe you just want to tell Kamal how he was right or wrong.
But mostly right.
Whatever you want to tell us, hit us on our social. I'm at Kyle Irby.
I'm at Angry Kamal.
Hit us up and you just might hear your comment on the air.
Promise. We'll be gentle.
Kamal, it is important to uplift black accomplishments, no pun intended, with Kodak Black. And it's important to uplift men's accomplishments as well, because we get shat upon so often in the media. Ladies, you do a good job at this. But we're going to talk about a brother doing something good, a black man doing something good. Kodak Black is extending his charitable streak. So this man, he went to prison. And when he went in prison, I'm just going to call a spade a spade. It seemed like he stepped up his philanthropy game in order to get out. He wanted to have a reason to be pardoned, and he was pardoned. President Trump pardoned him on the way out, but he's not done. That's why I appreciate it. And according to TMZ, he had his attorney, Brad Cohen, send a letter to the FBI Miami division, where he's from, where Kodak's from, offering to pay college tuition for the children of two agents fatally shot in Sunrise, Florida. Kamal, that makes me feel really good, dog.
Yeah. And if you ever want to get the feds off your ass,
nigga, that's hilarious.
pay for the college of two kids of slain officers,
Blue
slain
lives
agents.
Matter. Hell yeah!
You ever want to keep the feds out your shit?
Hey, that's smart business.
This is what Death Row should have done, and Murder Inc.
Yeah, man. Here's the thing about this cause, man. Nobody's turning their nose up on it. You know, sometimes you do some ass kissing the white man shit, and you're like, come on, nigga, you ain't got to do all that. Who the hell could be mad at this?
Oh, I know there's several people who could be mad. There's some fucking kids, there's some brothers, some black kids over there in Compton lost their daddy.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, people can be mad. People going to be mad. You can't please 100% of the people.
Never. And angry people will find a new reason to be angry.
Right.
You should be in Dade County doing this. Brother used to sell out. First you let Trump do it. Okay. Thank you.
But, I mean, honestly, salute this, man. Salute this. Somebody was going to do it. I'm glad Kodak Black was the first one to step
How do you know
up.
somebody was going to do it?
Somebody was going to take care of those kids because it was national. It was national. It was national news. It was a big deal. Biden spoke on it. So once that happens,
somebody's gonna step it up. I feel.
Well, even if it was like the public, through a GoFundMe.
Yeah.
This would have been, once they started talking about the kids after like the pain died down. This would have been a 60 Minutes and stuff like that episode. So I think somebody was going to do it. I'm glad Kodak Black stepped up. I don't have a problem with this. This is what you're supposed to do with your celebrity and your fame.
Yes.
I don't know what other guys do with their money, but I never really was like fans of the guys who just flash that shit, waste money, go to the strip club and just throw like $40,000 for a dance. It's really just to show off how much money you have. So I was never a big fan of that stuff. Never a fan of like the shit that Floyd Mayweather does. But when you can make a difference in people's lives, use that shit to better people. Yeah, man, that's what it's all about, man. Salute to this man. I don't really care for his music at all, and I'm not contributing to this college
fund.
You're
not helping with the money because you ain't fucking with the music.
I ain't paid I ain't buy none
speaking
of that
of not fucking with the music, coming up a next man who you probably ain't fucking with his music either, but he's making a career move. Bow Wow was talking about getting out of the rap game and getting into the sports entertainment business. We'll explain when we come back. It's the MRA Podcast. Guys, I have a comedy album. It's called Be a Man at All Times, and it's on, what's it on? Oh, Spotify, iTunes, or wherever you stream your content.
It's a damn good comedy album.
I appreciate that, man. There's stand-up on there. Kamal and I wrote a whodunit mystery called The Case of the Missing Balls. That's on there.
Based on a true story.
Check out the album. Show your boy some support. And you can buy it on iTunes. Keyword buy it. Stop streaming. Kamal, my man Lil Bow Wow, dude. Let me give it up to Lil Bow Wow, man. He's an easy guy to tease and to try to shit on, man. But let me tell you, dude, it is hard to make it in the hip-hop game. He is an established name. It is hard to make it. He transferred from that to acting. There's a lot of hip-hop rappers from back in the day that just disappeared, right? But Bow Wow, he got himself some acting legs. And now he's talking about making a change. He posted that he is ready for his next venture. He said, now I know this might sound crazy. Anytime a brother starts with, I know this might sound crazy, Kamal, it will. He said, but after I drop my last album, that's crazy.
That's crazy. What?
I didn't know you were still rapping.
Yeah, he's still dropping albums.
We both.
He's right, man.
Shit,
that sounds crazy, man.
That does. You're right.
Wait, he's got some more? There's more?
You're right. That does sound crazy. You still rap, nigga? Oh, man, that is ridiculous. Nope, there's more, Kamal.
Oh, okay, all right. Wow.
After I drop my next album, that's not the crazy part. I will focus on TV. This is how y'all know we don't rehearse this shit, nigga. We both. I will focus on TV and film. Okay, I thought you was already doing that. And joining the WWE. Okay. It's been a lifelong childhood dream to wrestle in the WWE. 3 exclamation marks. It was mine too, Kamal. Was it yours?
I wanted to be a manager. I wanted to come out, just rock the mic, and just talk shit.
Dude, you're so weird to me, man. I find you fascinating. I've never met a man. Who was it? The Slickster that turned your life around?
Slick, Bobby Heenan.
He's Bobby the Brain, man.
Yeah, the Heenan family.
He just wanted to grab the mic and talk shit. Let me tell you something, Hulk Hogan. What you're never gonna do, what you'll never be able to accomplish.
Yeah. They just fake jock somebody else. This man right here.
Let me tell you what, Kyle Larry is going to be #1 on the album charts.
Want to be the hype man. You're like too big MC. That's my goal. That's my goal. I just want hey, I want you to be like the nigga next to the nigga, just jocking the hammer.
Next to the hammer. They're not ready for you, Hammer. They're not ready for you.
That was my goal.
When we come back, we got to talk about a man I had never heard of, Kenny Washington, a black man who ended the NFL's official blackout. And then later in the show, we have a Dear Irby from a woman who wants to know why men take more than they give in relationships. We'll talk about it. It's an MRA podcast. Hey guys, what's up? If you're enjoying this show, do us a favor and donate to our Patreon.
Word.
Just go to www.patreon.com. That's Patreon.com and make a donation to the MRA podcast of Kyle and Kamal.
Word.
It's that simple. Listen to the show, love the show, share the show, break the show off with some dough.
Bars.
Come on, one of my favorite parts of the Super Bowl was when Viola Davis was talking about Kenny Washington, because I had never heard of this man. Now, I remember wondering who was the first, and this is probably why I never heard of him. One time I was trying to do research, who was the first black athlete to play in the NFL, and it was hard to find him because I didn't know they had already had black athletes from the beginning. That's why there is no Jackie Robinson in the NFL that we know of, because there wasn't a guy that went from nothing to something. But there was a guy who was maybe not the first, but like the 10th or whatever, because there was a long pause. But they weren't allowing black men to play in the NFL because, tell me if this sounds familiar, the owners colluded and decided to not let black men play anymore. Isn't that crazy? Wow. They got together allegedly and decided, they had an unofficial meeting. We don't want black people playing for us anymore. It's probably not good for business for whatever the reasons were. So the Rams, shouts out to the LA Rams, who I didn't even realize it was my first team, I guess, because I got a picture when I was 2 years old wearing some Rams shit. My dad's a Rams fan, so yeah, I don't hate the Rams like I do, the Chargers and all that shit, the other fake ass LA teams. But I'm a LA Raiders fan. They're no longer LA Raiders, but that's not the point. Anyway, the point is, the Rams, when they came from Cleveland to L.A., this is the beauty of the black dollar, Kamal. The black people in L.A. was like, nah, dog, you're not coming up in here playing in the Coliseum. Our tax dollars pay for this shit. This is our neighborhood. We don't want you playing here. And so, that's black. That's the power of the black dollar. That's the power of the black vote. That's the power of black people with their shit together. So the Rams, they put a black man. And now, of course, probably just like Jackie Robinson, that great sketch we did for the education, I had to have some money involved. It had to be about money because they knew that if they had a black man on their team, it could help sell that 100,000 seater.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're playing in the hood. Go ahead, Kamal.
No, I mean, and this is what we were talking about, like teaching black history.
Yes.
It's not that he was the first. You know what I'm saying? It's not that he's the first since the blackout. It's just the fact that you had people, millions of fans who didn't want to see a black person in the NFL.
It's crazy.
Those people are probably your nanas now, Paw, your grandfather. They raised your parents.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And so it's like, yes, man, there's still effects of all of this shit.
Mm-hmm.
It still affects all this shit. It's the reason why, black people get convicted more. It's not that we commit more. I mean, like the narrative is we commit more crimes.
Of course. That's
like
what you
bullshit.
think, right?
We get convicted more.
Yeah.
There's a reason why they think we're super people, which doesn't make sense for this NFL shit. They probably thought it'd be unfair advantage to have a black person in the NFL. But there's a reason why we don't get like the fucking opioids. We're not addicted because they don't give it to us because they think we have a higher threshold of pain.
Yeah,
like
crazy,
it's just
isn't it?
This is the shit that we have to deal with.
This is why we need Black History Month.
Mm-hmm.
Because as a black man, I never knew, and they wouldn't have done this if it wasn't for Black History Month. They wouldn't have told me about Kenny Washington, this man who played at UCLA. That gives me pride for UCLA. That's where my parents met. That's where he played with Jackie Robinson. And, because Jackie Robinson played football as well. Jackie Robinson coached basketball? That's crazy. At HBCU, but that's not the point. As I digress, Kamal, shouts out to Kenny Washington. I appreciate what he did, man. And, I rock number 13. So he rocked that number 13 jersey, man. I got to find me one of those so I can get it. We come back, man. We have a Dear Irby from a woman who wants to know why men take more than they give in relationships. Kamal and I are going to help her out. It's the MRA Podcast. You need some advice in your relationship?
And can't afford a therapist?
Yeah. Hit us up and we'll get you through this.
We won't even charge you a copay.
Exactly. The Dear Irby letter is our longest standing segment on the MRA, dating all the way back to the webisodes. This is where we truly save relationships one listener at a time. We've saved marriages.
Encourage divorce.
Taught a guy how to please his woman.
Encourage divorce.
Yeah, so hit us up for advice and we'll help you out. Send your emails to dearirby@themrapodcast.com. That is dearirby@themrapodcast.com. Let's get in this Dear Irby letter.
Let us.
It says, Dear Irby, I have been single for about 10 years now because I am just tired of men. My husband cheated on me and never appreciated me. The guy before that tried to put his hands on me. I used to give and give and give, and I noticed that men would take until there was nothing else left, and I had to put a limit on my giving. Why is it that men prefer imbalanced relationships? And why do men take more than they give in a relationship? Kamal, help Sharita out in Toledo, Ohio. Help her out, bro.
Ooh, I don't like it. I don't like it, man. This is the victimhood we were talking about. Sharita, single for 10 years because your husband cheated, never appreciated you. And the guy before you put hands on you, that's definitely a no-no. And I'm glad you're out of that toxic relationship.
Yeah.
But you're single because of that. I don't think you're using your woman powers enough.
Wow.
Sharita. Well, the thing about it is because they say like happy wife, happy life. Mm-hmm. So a lot of men are miserable right now.
Yeah.
Just to make their women happy.
That's hilarious.
A lot of men are tying themselves into pretzels to make their ladies happy just so they can have peace.
Wow.
All right. Next week is Valentine's Day. Men are going to break the bank.
Yeah.
To get their wives, their girlfriends, their side pieces, gifts, chocolates. The chocolate industry is about to blow up. Diamond industry is about to blow up. You know what I'm saying? Flower industry is about to blow up, all because of men paying to try to make their women happy. And so you're a rare breed. You know, you give, and the guys are not reciprocating. The guys you've been with, but that's not the way it is in general. That's not the way it is. Or the way it is in general is basically whatever the wife wants or the girl wants. That's what we're doing. You know, that's what we're doing. That's why there are male rights activists. You know, that's why me and Kyle are in business right now, because there is, you know, there's just this thing going on where we don't get what we want. And so we advocate for the guys.
Yeah, because most guys ain't getting what they want.
Most guys ain't getting what they want. And so, Sharita, I go back to what I said earlier. You're not using your girl powers the way you should. You know, with great power comes great responsibility. You know, you're basically Hancock, the Will Smith movie, when he had the superpower and he was fucking young and drunk. And you're Hancock before he got his shit together. All right? I truly believe that obviously you had the wrong guys. The husband cheating on you, that's not cool. The guy who put his hands on you, that's not cool. Those are two individuals. That's not men. That's not dudes. You know what I'm saying? So I think he gave up, you know, way too fast. You know, and I think that maybe, you know, there's some entitlement there because you are a woman. You feel like you're supposed to have this stuff, and so it should come easy. Like, nah, man. Did you know it took years of bitching for my wife to finally get me to where she, you know, she wants me. And I still fall off every now and again. Yeah. It takes years of molding and all of that stuff, complaining and nagging, manipulating and guilting and all of that stuff. I don't know which one you wasn't using. Probably not none of them. You know, you were probably happy just to be in these relationships. And I've met a lot of giving women. I have. You know, and typically the giving women are usually the ones who are single. Yeah. You know, now or they're the ones on the side. You know, they make dudes happy, but they can't manipulate them, or they don't manipulate. They can. Don't get me wrong. They can. They don't. Yeah. They don't use their powers for evil. And so the thing about it is, the women who are giving, those are the good ones. Those are the great ones. Those are the ones we love. But for some reason, those ain't the ones we latch on to long term.
I'll tell you why.
All right, so I would say, Sharita, you know, you have inner strength. You know, use it. Use it for the powers of evil. You will be happier. Turn to the dark side. Like, I'm fucking around.
I gotta cut your mic. Man, we come back. I'm gonna weigh in. Yo, what's up? I'm Kyle.
And I'm Kamal.
And you're listening to the MRA podcast, where men come to talk and women come to eavesdrop. Okay, Kamal. You always blow my mind, man. I always learn so many things with you. I never thought about that perspective of the reason why these givers. So there's givers and takers, right, ladies? And the takers know how to get what they want. They know how to manipulate. A lot of guys don't want what the takers are making them do, but the takers know how to manipulate them into that. Is that what you're saying, Kamal?
Yes.
Thank you for
cleaning that up for me.
Yeah, no doubt. Let me just answer your question first. I'm going to get straight to the question you asked. You asked the question, why is it that men take more they give in their relationships? This is not all men. This is just the type of men that you seem to be attracted to because you're probably a giver, right? So the reason why they take is because you're a giver. I don't know if that can change, but that's not the problem. I'm just going to give you, because we're here to help you understand the man you love, let me try to give you the perspective of these type of men. I saw Ray J talking on one of these reality shows, and his assistant, this woman's paid to assist Ray J, right? She was mad that Ray J, she was like, Ray J, what about what I want in my career? Because she probably wasn't a real assistant. She was just trying to work her way up to something else. And so she was mad that Ray J was expecting her to do her job. And she was like, what about me? And to me, that woman wasn't a real giver. All right, if you have a secretary, here's the agreement. I give you money, you give me service. Okay, you type my shit. I don't type your shit. You work for me. If you understand that, you'll have a whole lot better chance of understanding how it should be. But if you're the secretary and for some reason you got a best friend who's also secretary, and for some reason that boss is typing her work, you're going to be looking like, well, how come my boss doesn't ever type my work? He just makes me type his. Because your boss is an old school boss. And so what I'm trying to say is, some of these men are old school. And they look at you like you're supposed to help them. I'm not here to help you. I'm here to serve you in a different way. And so, yes, a lot of types of men just take. But they should be offering a service in some way. Rather it be financial security, rather it be protection, something. Wendy Williams, man, wasn't bringing in money, Kamal. What was he bringing in?
Protection,
security, shoulder to cry on, rubbing her feet while she was in bed for a year. That's what he brought to the table. You got to understand what the deal is, Sharita. What is the deal? So don't expect a deal that you don't have. So if you have the type of man who sees you as a helpmeet, don't expect him to be your helpmeet. That is your job. You're going to serve him. But he better be serving you in some way. But the problem with you, Sharita, is I hope you don't expect him to both be serving you in the way that he naturally does and then the way that your girlfriend's man does. Because you don't have your girlfriend's man. You are a giver, so you're attracted to a taker. But here's the thing. This is how I'm going to wrap it all up like I said I would. If you get with Tom Brady, don't expect Tom Brady to be your helpmeet. Because his obsession is football and not you. Look at Dolly Parton. Remember, her man ain't coming to no concerts?
Love that guy.
Exactly. You might have to just get a guy like that that's willing to stay home. Not going to be your biggest fan. You just have to take the good with the bad. So for Sharita, why is it that men prefer imbalanced relationships? Because the type of men that you tend to be attracted to prefer you to serve them. And they serve you in a different way. Make sure he is serving you in the way that works for you.
All relationships are imbalanced, but they're imbalanced to balance. If you can understand that.
No, that makes a lot of sense. They're imbalanced to balance. So you have 25 over there. You're not going to have, the number's going to make it balanced.
Right. And the roles are different.
But here's where Sharita's right. Sometimes a man is not pulling his weight. So a provider is not giving you anything. He's just taking your services, but he's providing. And then some women are like, yeah, but he didn't even provide. So the question I have for you is, why did you get with him in the first place? Was it that you thought he would provide one day because you were investing in him? And if so, did you quit too soon or did you pick wrong? Because I don't think that it's all men are just takers. Because that's like saying all bosses just take and take and take. They don't never give back. Yeah, they're giving a paycheck. So if it's an old school guy that believes you're supposed to serve him in this way and he's a provider and you're no longer happy that he's just a provider, then that means you need to work on being grateful. Or you might be unhappy because you invested in a future provider and he hasn't kicked in yet. Well, then that's on you for picking the wrong thing. But I'm always going to put it back on you because I can't fix him. I can only fix you. So you either have to pick differently or be more patient. But what I need you to understand is when you're dealing with a man, if he sees you as a helpmeet, he will always see you as a helpmeet. And that is not necessarily a bad thing. Just know that's the type of man you have. And he better be having the upside that goes with that. And if not, don't even give it a chance. Where can we find you?
Twitter and Instagram @AngryKamal.
Cool. I'm at Kyle Irby at the MRA Podcast is where you can find us both. KyleIrby.com is my website. You can see some commercials I've done. I've got some comedy videos and all that stuff. And the MRAPodcast.com is where you can listen to 132 of our episodes. Come out. Thank you for bringing it every time you show up, dog. You always show up. You always bring it. I appreciate you, my brother.
Thank you.
Ladies, we love you. Fellas, be a man at all times.
Deuces.
MRA.